Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jason Johansson. I'm the homicide lieutenant with the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. And we're here today because our homicide cold case unit, along with assistance from the Vegas Justice League, the LVMPD DNA Forensic Lab, and Othram, allowed us to be here today because we identified a suspect that was involved in two separate murders that until now had remained unsolved for the past 28 and 30 years. These cases have been reviewed by numerous detectives in hopes of developing new evidence. DNA collected during the initial investigation and DNA collected from the family member of the suspect ultimately identified who he was. In the morning of December 11th of 1992, the body of 31-year-old Lori Ann Perera was found in a desert area east of the Montgomery Ward retail store located in the 2800 block of East Charleston. Perera was found nude with ligature marks and bound at both her ankles and wrists, and it appeared tape had been placed over her wrists. Perera's cause of death was ruled asphyxiation due to strangulation and blunt force trauma. This case was investigated by my homicide section, but ultimately it remained unsolved until now. In the morning hours of January 11th of 1994, the body of 35-year-old Pearl Wilson Ingram, known to her family as Pinky, was found in a dumpster behind the Bonds grocery store located at the 4400 block of East Charleston. Ingram had been found nude from the waist down with debris placed over her body in an attempt to conceal her body. The cause of death for Miss Ingram was also ruled to be strangulation. In 2007, during a case review of the 1992 murder of Lori Ann Perera, detectives identified a sperm fraction from a DNA swab recovered at the time of her autopsy. Additional forensics was completed on that swab, which ultimately identified an unknown DNA profile, which was placed into CODIS. In 2012, during a case review of the 1994 murder of Pearl Wilson Ingram, detectives identified additional DNA evidence from the original sexual assault kit. A DNA evidence was also obtained from that sexual assault kit and placed into CODIS, and at that time, our homicide section became aware that both murders were linked to the same suspect, but he had remained unidentified. In 2022, utilizing funds provided by the Vegas Justice League, the suspect's DNA was ultimately sent to Othram to assist us in identifying who that suspect was. And they were ultimately able to preliminary identify our suspect as Eddie George Snowden Jr., who is pictured here to my left. A little background records check on Snowden revealed that he had lived at the 2800 block of East Charleston during the time of both murders. It also appears from Snowden's criminal history that he lived from the 1950s to the 1970s in the Fresno area of California, as well as several surrounding cities to include Sacramento, Santa Cruz, Madera, Merced, Woodland, and Watsonville, Californias. Investigators were able to obtain DNA from Snowden's biological family with the assistance of the Fresno Police Department. This sample ultimately confirmed that Snowden was the person who sexually assaulted and murdered Lori Ann Perera and Pearl Ingram. Unfortunately, Mr. Snowden Jr. died in Las Vegas in February of 2017 from natural causes, and as therefore there'll be no arrests made in either of these cases. However, I do encourage the jurisdictions that I previously mentioned where he lived to review their cold cases for similar fact patterns as I described here. At this time, I would like to introduce Teresa Board. She is the sister of Pearl Ingram.
to the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Cold Case Unit and its entire police family, from my family to yours. We would like to say thank you for the much needed closure. On January 11, 1994, my sister was found in a garbage dumpster. We'd like to thank you very, very much for giving my family closure. To the garbage man that found my sister, should you be listening, we'd like to say thank you. It has been a long, long 28 years. But we seriously thank you. We'd also like to thank the suspect's family and for the new technology of genealogy for this to be possible. And I'd just like to say, if there is any other families out here that's going through what we have been through, keep hope alive, keep God first, and you too can have closure. Thank you.
On behalf of the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, I'd like to extend a thank you, even from our homicide section, to the LVPD DNA Forensics Lab, to the Fresno Police Department for their assistance in this case, the Vegas Justice League, and Othram for their continued support to our endeavor to find justice for all victims of homicide, or at least some sort of resolution and closure to their loved one's case. Thank you very much. I'll take any additional questions you may have. Yes, Stacey?
You mentioned that some California cities might want to review cases. What about here? Do you think there's a possibility that this particular person did anything else here?
I can't rule out that possibility, but what I can tell you is related to cases here, I don't have any other additional active cases that we have a CODIS hit that would link into. But that's not to say that there might be an additional cold case that goes down the road where additional DNA might link him to another case. But at this point in time, we do not have another case identified that is linked to Mr. Snowden.
How are cases like this decided? Does Othram have any sort of say? How do these come to pass in terms of this case as compared to the others that are still left unsolved?
That's a great question. Last year, our department made a large investment into our cold case team by providing additional resources. And those additional resources have allowed us to increase our bandwidth of the number of cases that we can review as a cold case team. And a lot of the deciding factors are what forensic evidence is left for us to test, what hasn't been done in a case, and the cases are triaged in that manner as I just described there. But a lot of it was based on what DNA evidence that we have available, what has been tested, but maybe with new DNA technology, it will allow us to get a better result. Go ahead.
Did Eddie Snowden, that you know, have any criminal history?
He did have a criminal history here in Las Vegas. I don't have it with me right here, but nothing of nature of what we're discussing today.
Both these cases sound like they happened within the same 2-decade ago time frame. It said 22 years.
They happen within 2 years of one another.
Is there a certain timetable around that time that there's more evidence available?
For this particular case? For this particular case, like I said, we went through the additional review processes prior on both cases. On both of those cases, we identified a DNA profile that was likely our suspect, but unfortunately, we were at a position where that DNA profile had never hit to a suspect. So they were in CODIS. Had that person's DNA ever been put into CODIS, it would have told us. But that was never done, and it was never identified until we went through the additional steps through the assistance of the Vegas Justice League, through our DNA forensic lab here with Las Vegas Metro, and Othram.
Lieutenant, do you have motive for one or both of these killings?
I would say the only motive that we can pin down right now is that both are sexual assaults that turn murder. So I would say that it had to do with some type of sexual gratification.
Ms. Ford, we're gonna want to ask to spell your name.
My first name is I'm sorry.
Thank you.
My first name is Teresa. My last name is Board.
You still live locally?
Yes, sir.
What do you remember about your sister?
She was very lively, always cracking jokes. My sister was educated. She was a mother. She was a sister. She was an aunt. And she didn't get to become a grandmother, and that's not fair.
You mentioned she's a mom.
Yes,
One or more children.
one.
Still living locally.
No, he's always lived in Louisiana. He lives in Baton Rouge.
And he knows about this.
Yes,
Have you spoken with him?
yes, I spoke with him this morning along with Detective Miller.
Can we ask what he said?
He said that he was happy, that he was going to finally be able to get some closure. And he is looking forward to future conversations, to ask future questions in reference to his mom's murder.
Still have questions.
Yes.
How old were you and how old was your sister?
Well, I was 20. Well, no, that's okay. I don't mind. This happened in 94 and I was born in 65. And my sister was number 5 and I'm number 8.
So she's your oldest.
Yes.
All right. Thank you guys very much. We appreciate your time. Thank you.